So this is a microwave converted into a UV light sterilizer, which you can sterilize medical equipment. Right now I just have the LED light, so for the sake of demonstration, so you could see the light through there. But all you do is get one of these UVC germicidal lights, and I would screw it into this socket here, and then you have a UV light generating, sterilizing device here. You can buy a UV light germicidal cabinet very similar to this. I also have just this is a magnetic vent cover, so that can prevent the UV light from getting through the front. So people have asked me how I made this, so I'm gonna make this video to show you how to convert a microwave into a UV light sterilizer. So that's what this video is. So I'm going to take apart this microwave, show you how you can do this. You could do this with a normal microwave or a broken microwave that's not heating up food if everything else is still working. So, first thing, of course, you need to unplug it. Microwaves can be very dangerous to work on. A lot of high voltage inside. I'll talk about that in a second. So you want to take out all of these screws and take the lid off. Once you have all the screws out, it kind of pops off the sides. This thing just pulls backwards, and then it's screwed off. Okay, now the inside of a microwave, they're all very similar here. You have your power that comes over to the circuit board that runs the timer, and then you're going to have two wires. Well, actually, there's three wires here, but these wires provide the 120 volts of power to a transformer. The transformer is also hooked up to a high voltage capacitor, and then you have the magnetron. The magnetron looks the same in all microwaves. Two magnets in there that shoots microwaves through a hole into your microwave. So that's going to be on the side of your microwave, shooting into the microwave. All microwaves have a little white cover right here that protects food from getting on your magnetron. Kind of looks like a white piece of plastic. That thing just snaps right off. There will also be metal here covering that, at least part of it. I took a Dremel with a metal cutter and cut that out so that I could access the hole in the back where the magnetron shoots the microwave down. The dangerous part about a microwave that you can Google about and watch YouTube videos is this high voltage capacitor. This thing can be very dangerous. Obviously you want it unplugged. But even after it's unplugged, this thing can hold a charge that's very high voltage and could even kill you. So that's what you got to be very careful about. If you were to touch those two connectors right there, it could discharge a very large spark and even kill you. So first thing you want to do, of course, is unplug the microwave before you work on it. You could wait overnight, because these capacitors are like batteries, but instead of having a potential energy from chemical, they just have an electrostatic charge that'll dissipate on its own over time. So if you wait overnight, there's an internal resistor that kind of bleeds off the battery, or the charge. If you have one, use a voltmeter, and the voltmeter, you could very quickly check the volts of that high voltage capacitor to make sure it has been discharged. You can also Google videos on how to discharge a capacitor. I mean, worst case scenario, if it's still holding a charge and the internal resistance is not working, you can get a needle nose pliers with good rubber handles and just discharge by shorting it out by connecting the two connectors right there, and then it'll discharge. After that, that's the main dangerous part. The main idea here is that you want to change these wires, which provide power for the transformer, the capacitor, and the magnetron. Those three things work in concert to produce the microwaves into the microwave. You want to take these three items out, and instead, and I got a wire here, buy one of these. It's just a plug with a socket on there, and that's where you're going to plug in your ultraviolet light, a standard light socket. You're just going to cut the plug off, put some connectors on to connect into the supply power of the microwave. So After you discharge this high voltage capacitor, a couple screws, you take that out. You're done with that. You take out the magnetron, you get rid of that. Lastly is this transformer. This thing probably weighs 20 pounds. It's always going to be on the bottom because it weighs so much. There's usually a few screws that hold that in. You disconnect it. It's connected into the magnetron as well as into the high voltage capacitor. And these wires will be connected. You can see the two prongs here. That's all you have to do. You just get needle nose pliers, pry these two off, put that to the side, disconnect it from the high voltage capacitor and the magnetron, and you got that out. That weighs a lot. You'll be left with a small hole here, and if you cut your plug, you could thread the plug through here. You don't even have to cut anything. You could go, there's a hole right here underneath and out this hole, and then you could just set the plug inside the microwave somewhere. What I wanted to do though was to attach the light bulb here so it fits very nicely. So I just Dremel with a metal connector, a metal cutter, and I cut through that, and then I eventually cut that hole larger to access the microwave. So then this unscrews like so. So now that's going to be inside. I cut it just the right size so it fits in there. Alright, and this side, you go on the inside and screw that in, like so. So coming back to this side, now I have the light bulb that can be plugged in right there, the UVC Germicidal light. This wire, I just cut off the end of the plug, crimped some connectors for that. So now basically it's going to run as a microwave. The fan's going to kick on. I left that one on. The little light that you can see that lights up, just the incandescent light, so you can see what's inside the microwave, is going to stay on. You got a door switch that, which is nice because just as a microwave will not work unless the door is shut, neither will this UV light produce any ultraviolet light to kill off the bacteria and virus with the door open. So the door has to be shut. So I'm going to close this back up, put the lid back on, and we're done. That's it. So now I got the lid back on. I plugged in, screwed in just a regular LED light so you can see how this works. And then, since it has the plate that goes around in circles, I just created this just with coat hanger and wood to rotate, because you need the UV light to hit. It'll kill off the bacteria and viruses, or inactivate the viruses with direct flow of the UV light. If there's any shade or it doesn't get the other side, it's not going to work. So that's why a microwave with the rotating plate works really well, so the light can get all sides of your mask and or your equipment, anything else. So I can put that in there, and I'm going to do express cook for 5 minutes. And there, that's a UV light, which I'll plug in a minute. It would be killing off all the virus, all the bacteria, and inactivating all the viruses. Run it for about 5 minutes, and that will effectively kill everything in there, and you'll have sterilized your equipment. So now I have the UVC Germicidal light plugged in instead. Now microwave, they can't get through the little holes that they put in the front of your microwave. That's why they put this with little holes in there. But UVC light is a lot smaller wavelength and will go through those holes. So I'm actually going to get a UV blocking film to put on here so I can see in. But until I get that in the mail, I'm just using this vent cover, magnetic vent cover. And it can cover the entire window there. So then when you start it up, you can't see any ultraviolet light sneaking out of there. If I move it just a teeny bit, this is going to get a little light out there. UV light can hurt your retina or maybe cause cancer. Now you're going to see a little light over here. Yeah. so you know it's working. But with a UV light blocking film on the inside, then you'll be able to see inside while no UV light can get out. So that's how you can convert a microwave into a UV light sterilizer.